People, this is just a distraction. Of all the things that Doris said and confessed, what remains of interest and what should remain of interest to everyone is, where is baby testimony? She did confess that she was paid 45 million naira to scatter this case, to bring all the confusion that was needed to avoid justice for baby testimony. Most of you are still asking, who is baby testimony? What happened? Don't worry, I'll unpack everything very soon for you, and you understand the gravity of this case and how sensitive it is. The fact that she confessed accepting 45 million naira to obstruct justice for baby testimony, is that alone not a criminal offense? I don't know how the law is like in Nigeria, but at this point, something must be done. Like I've been calling out for the past 3 years, and from the beginning of this case of baby testimony, I've been calling out for anyone in Nigeria who can help. Anyone who knows how things run in Nigeria who can help. It was very unfortunate that I was left alone in this whole case for more than 2 years. All the people I thought, the activists I thought who would partner and come on board to call for justice for this little boy, they all turned their back on the case. And I was left with a very few people who had little or close to no influence or to control the judiciary on the ground. But what still saddens me today is the boy is still missing. And the reason why the boy is still missing is Doris Ogala and Chris Okafor. With the investigation that I've done, Doris and Chris know where baby testimony is. They were led to baby testimony by Emmanuel Marcus. Emmanuel Marcus was the culprit in the entire case. He is allegedly one of the key players in the disappearance of baby testimony, in the abduction of baby testimony. And he led Doris Ogala and Chris Okafor to the baby. But out of greed, they decided to obstruct justice so that they can keep milking money from Omoto. But we are here now, my people. She obstructed justice for an innocent baby who got missing at Mercy City. In the interviews that she did, she claims that Jeremiah Omoto was because of the recordings of Prof X that she submitted to the court. But that is not true. The reason why we lost the case of baby testimony is because Doris Ogala fabricated evidence against Ruth Matthew. Doris Ogala volunteered to look after Ruth Matthew. And she started recording Ruth Matthew for days and days and days. She started recording her children for days and days and days. Some of them are minors. Recording videos of them, forcing them to give testimonies against the case. And everything that they said whilst Doris Ogala was interrogating them is what she sent to Chris Okafor. And Chris Okafor sent to Omoto, and it was then sent to the court. And it was proven in the court that maybe the woman is confused, or maybe the woman is conflicted. She does not know what she's talking about. The woman I'm referring to is Ruth Matthew. Her case lost merit in court because Doris Ogala fabricated the evidence. She clearly highlighted it in the interview. She just twisted the confession because she does not want to take liability of the atrocious conduct of her engagement with Ruth Matthew. The reason why we lost that case is because she interrogated this family and she recorded them 24/7. She has an entire dossier of recordings of Ruth Matthew, her little babies, her brothers, that she submitted to court so that she looks like she was lying about the missing baby. She even came to a point when she said Ruth Matthew sold her own son. If I can bring you all the recordings of Doris Ogala discrediting Ruth Matthew, shouting at Ruth Matthew, humiliating Ruth Matthew, Ruth Matthew is a physically challenged sister who is a mother of 4, and she can't stand on her own. She does try to provide for her children. But the fact that Doris can mobilize giants against a vulnerable woman like that to prevent the justice of her last born, an innocent child, to prevent him from getting justice, to prevent him from being reunited with his family. How diabolical can one be? How diabolical. Ogalla committed an offense. Not only Ogalla, together with Chris Okafor, they committed a criminal offense and they must be brought to book. And this is the only opportunity that is there for them to answer to what they did and tell us where baby testimony is. They took close to 100 million naira from Omoto. And they promised Omoto that they would deliver baby testimony. They went to Omoto, Doris and Okafor, and told Omoto that we know where baby testimony, give us 100 million and we'll do an investigation and we will find him. And they found him. When they found him, do you still remember when Omoto gave a prophecy that in 4 days, this missing baby will come out? He was giving that prophecy based on the information he had gotten from Doris and Chris Okafor. But between the days that Omoto had prophesied for the baby to come out, there was a conflict between Doris and Okafor. And that conflict resulted in them deciding not to bring out that baby, simply because they wanted to continue milking money from Omoto. All they had was greed. And that greed led to us not finding baby testimony. I'm saying all this in summary, but